So students, in my previous lecture I have discussed about up to density of transition elements. Now in this lecture today I am going to discuss about another property, third property of transition element, which is called oxidation state. Oxidation state. So what is oxidation state? We all know, we have learnt in redox reaction in class 11 that loss of electron is called oxidation, or if I can remind very well, I can say that I have given you one technique also, that is to write LEO. Loss of electron is called oxidation. Now after oxidation, the state of the element is called oxidation state. The state of the element after oxidation is called oxidation state. Now transition elements have variable oxidation state. Means they do not have a fixed oxidation state or only one oxidation state. They have a variable oxidation state. Now why they exhibit? Now the question is why? The question is why? Why variable oxidation state? Answer to this question is, in transition elements both n-1 d orbital and ns orbital take part in bond formation. ns orbital take part in bond formation. So since we know that from Aufbau principle that n-1 d is having, as far as energy is concerned, n-d is having similar energy with ns. Okay, so this is according to Aufbau principle which you have learnt in your first year syllabus. Aufbau principle. Okay, now so since n-1 d orbital and ns orbital have almost similar energy, so both the n-1 d orbital and ns orbital take part in bond formation. Since both these one take part in bond formation, so that is why they have variable oxidation state. So if I said that your syllabus is mainly focused on 3D series. So if we go on writing the oxidation state of scandium to titanium, vanadium, chromium, manganese, iron, cobalt, nickel, copper, zinc. So scandium is having +3 oxidation state, titanium is having +2, +3, +4, vanadium +2, +3, +4, +5, chromium +2, +3, +4, +5, +6, manganese +2, +3, +4, +5, +6 and +7, iron again +2, +3, +4, +5, +6, cobalt is having +2, +3, +4, nickel is having +2, +3, +4, and copper is having +1 oxidation state and +2 oxidation state, and finally last but not the least, zinc is having oxidation state +2 only. Okay, now here is one question: why zinc exhibits only +2 oxidation state? Because zinc has 3d10 and 4s2 configuration. After losing these two electrons, it gets stable electronic configuration, that is 3d10. So that is why zinc exhibits +2 oxidation state only. Similarly, another question is also, why scandium exhibits +3 oxidation state? Why not +2? Because the configuration of scandium is 3d1 4s2. So after losing these two electrons, if it loses this electron also, it will attain d0 configuration, which is a stable configuration. That is why scandium is prone towards +3 oxidation state, and similarly zinc is prone towards +2 oxidation state. So it follows a triangle type trend which is termed as triad, okay. So it is also very good, it is also very important question. Name the element NCERT question, name the element NCERT question, name the element of 3D series having maximum oxidation state, The answer is what is answer? Manganese. Manganese is having the element which is having maximum oxidation state, that is +7. Manganese is having +7 oxidation state. So the manganese is having +1 oxidation state, is the highest oxidation state. So in entrance exam, so far as your entrance exam is concerned, NEET and IIT, JEE mains and advanced, you will not be able to find it out in your copy, you will not get time. So there it is one tips and tricks that minimum oxidation state, I am writing OS, is equal to number of electron in s orbital. So minimum oxidation state will be number of electron in s orbital, and maximum oxidation state is equal to number of electron in s orbital plus number of unpaired d electron. So the minimum oxidation state is equal to number of electron in s orbital, and maximum oxidation state is equal to number of electron in s orbital plus number of unpaired electrons. So see, maximum oxidation state for manganese is +7, because manganese is having configuration as 3d5 and 4s2. So it will lose both these 2 electron and also this 3d5 electron. And the minimum oxidation state is exhibited by zinc C+2, this is the number of electron in s orbital. So, and one more important thing is that amongst the d block elements, highest oxidation state is being in D block is equal to +8, which is for osmium and ruthenium. And there are some elements or some compounds in which we have zero oxidation state. Is for complexes like Ni nickel carbonyl, NiCO4, FeCO5, etc. So in these compounds, nickel have zero oxidation state, Fe is also having zero oxidation state. Now next is, what is the relative stability? See, relative stability, now next is relative stability, okay, of oxidation state. So scandium +2 is less stable than scandium +3, because as I said earlier that scandium is having configuration 3d1 and 4s2. So after losing this 2 electron, it will be prone to lose this d electron also to get d0 configuration. Okay, then titanium 3+ is less stable than titanium 4+. That is the reason is the same. Manganese +6 is less stable than manganese +7. Then vanadium +4 is less stable than vanadium +5. Then similarly manganese +3 is less stable than manganese +2. So these are all having inert gas configuration, inert gas configuration. So this is the relative stability. Now manganese plus 3 this up to this. So this manganese plus 3 is having this manganese plus 3 is less stable than manganese plus 2 because due to D5 stable configuration, because the configuration of manganese is 3D5 and 4s2. So after losing this 2 electron, it will get D5 configuration, which is stable. Okay. Next, chromium. In chromium plus 2 is less stable than chromium plus 3 because D3 configuration is more stable than D4 in aqueous solution. Similarly, Ni2 plus 2 is greater stability than Ni4 plus 4. Similarly, platinum plus 2 is also less stable than platinum plus 4. Okay, so these are relative stability of oxidation state. Now if we move along a period, stability of higher oxidation state decreases. For example, vanadium O3 minus greater than Cr4 2 minus greater than MnO4 minus. Now if we move along the group, similarly if we move along the group, stability of higher oxidation state increases. So for example CrO3, where Cr is having plus oxidation state, is less stable than MoO3. It is also having plus oxidation state. It's less stable than WO3, which is also having plus oxidation state. Okay. Similarly, MnO4 minus, where Mn is having plus 1 oxidation state, is less stable than technetium TCO4 minus, it is also having plus 1 oxidation state, and less stable than ReO4 minus. Here rhenium is also having plus 4 oxidation state. So the next point to be discussed is atomic radii. If we move from scandium to zinc, atomic radii first decreases, then remain constant in the middle, and further at the end increases. Atomic radii first decreases, remain constant in the middle, and then further at the end increases. Why? Because see, this is nucleus. If this is nucleus, this is number 1 shell, this is number 2 shell, this is number 3 shell. As we move along from scandium to zinc, the number of electrons is going on increasing progressively. So there exists one attractive force between nucleus and electron, and also there exists one repulsive force between electron and electron. So as the number of electron is going on increasing, so the attractive force is also increasing, which is termed as effective nuclear charge. So the effective nuclear, which is increase in effective nuclear charge increases. Due to increase in effective nuclear charge, atomic radii decreases. Nucleus will shrink the atom towards itself. It will try to shrink the atom towards itself. So the atomic radii decreases. Then in the middle of the series, where manganese and iron and cobalt is there, the number of electrons is increasing. So fast attraction is greater than repulsion. Then attraction will be equal to repulsion. So there is attraction also, and also there is repulsion. Attraction, repulsion. So it remains constant. Atomic radius becomes constant in the middle. And further, when the number of electrons is increased at the end towards zinc, copper, where the number of electrons is increased more and more. So this electron will feel that this electron has put one shield in between, or screen. This is screen. Here repulsion is greater than attraction. So it will feel that it will screen this electron has screened the nucleus to see it. So this effect is called screening effect. So due to increase in screening effect, atomic radii increase in screening effect, atomic radii increases. Atomic radii increasing screening effect, so atomic radii increases. Okay. So the trend in atomic radii is, as we move along a period in the periodic table, atomic radii first decreases, then remain constant in the middle, and further at the end increases. Why? This is very important question. Why question is very important for final exam, NCERT question. Okay. So why? So see, because I have explained already that this is nucleus, this is electron. So there exists attractive force between nucleus and electron. So this attraction is called effective nuclear charge, means attraction, and also there is repulsion between electron and electron. But here at the beginning of the series, attraction is greater than repulsion. So that is why the nucleus will shrink the atom towards itself. It will shrink the atom towards itself. So that is why the atomic radii first decreases. Then as the number of electrons is going on increasing, so attraction will be there, repulsion will be there. So that is why it will remain constant. The atomic radii will remain constant. Further at the end of the series, when the electron has increased more and more, so there the repulsion will become greater than attraction. This electron will feel that this electron has put one screen in between this electron and nucleus, has put on screen between electron and nucleus, which is called screening effect. Due to increase in screening effect, atomic radii increases. Due to increasing screening effect, atomic radii increases. With this, I end my lecture here for today. Thank you.